every now and then you kind of circle back to an estate you think you know. And then you're surprised. Because there are so many wines in Bordeaux that it's kind of hard to keep tabs of every single one of them. I mean, it really is. I mean, we were talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of estates. It becomes a little bit of a cluster. You have to sometimes be reminded of estates that you love, but you may have, I don't want to say forgot about, but maybe fly under the radar. And today's estate fits into that category perfectly. It's when you taste the wine, you're like, where have you been all my life? When it comes to elegance and beauty, Chateau Corbin, I mean, fits that to the T. You know, it's not trying to be overpowering. It's not trying to be, hey, look at me. It's about like the girl you want to marry. It's just, everything is right about the wine. In harmony, perfect harmony. Now that this wine, the 2015, is 10 years old, that beauty is starting to really shine, really come out and expose itself. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's what I remember. That's what I remember with this wine. So 2015, Chateau Corbin, 2015, sunny vintage in Bordeaux. Warm, sunny, very, very giving. But the beauty of the 15, it had cool nights. So, and the wines never really shut down. They were always kind of flamboyant, but they did need time to evolve. You know, they had to go through the whole evolution stage, you know, and to kind of to be what it is today. But Chateau Corbin is like no newcomer. I mean, this chateau is one of the oldest chateaus in Saint-Émilion, actually, going back to the 15th century. That's a long time ago. And so it wasn't until the Cruse family purchased the estate. Now, you may know the name Cruse because they are vineyard owners, and they own estates both in the right and left bank. You may know Chateau d'Issan. That wine was James Suckling's #1 wine of the year. We sent out an email like last week or something like that. 98 points from him. And they also, at one time, they owned Pontet-Canet before they sold it to the Tesserons. So, I mean, this is, you know, a family that's been around in the estate. But what's really interesting about Corbin is that it was always left to the women of the family. So it was passed down through generation and generation to the women, and now it is run by Annabelle Cruse. And she is an enologist, you know, and she's a perfectionist, you know, when it comes. So when she, you know, took over the estate, it was all about in the vineyard. And their vineyard, which is about 15 hectares, so that's around like 35 acres, is a single plot. And the great thing about this vineyard is it's at the very northern part of Saint-Émilion and butts up against Pomerol. So they have like some Pomerol-ish terroir, you know, so they have sandy gravel, they have clay. And in fact, the clay is blue clay, if I'm not mistaken, if I've read that correct. No, I did read it correct. And blue clay is very famous for Merlot and very famous for where Pétrus has blue clay. 2015 Chateau Corbin. Sounds like Doug Namiro from Cars and Bids, doesn't it? All right. So, what a nose. You got plum, little graphite, tobacco, because you know it's 10 years old, so you're starting to already get those tertiary flavors in the wine. Ooh boy, sunny vintage, so you still get ripe fruit, but you get very refined tannins. They're there, but they're very silky. It's funny though, that graphite kind of on the palate reminds me of Pomerol. If I were to taste this blind, I probably wouldn't guess Saint-Émilion because of its elegance, and it's like that really like plummy, purpley blue fruits that are coming through. You know, the terroir speaks in a wine. I mean, that's why great terroir is great terroir. That's why, you know, you pay, you know, $1,000 for a bottle of Burgundy, Grand Cru Burgundy, or First Growth Bordeaux, because there's a specific aspect to the terroir that comes through that no other place has. 93 points, Jeb Dunnick, 93 points, James Suckling. So the wine has scores in press, and this is the kind of wine like I like to drink. You know, because it's 10 years old. It's still primary, but it's showing that secondary characteristics in the wine, and because I'm a little older now, so I don't want to get beat over the head, you know, by 15% alcohol wines. I like elegance in the wine. I like layers in the wine, and this wine has it in spades. So, I mean, at under $35, this is a deal of a lifetime. Guys, seriously, this property is on the rise. It really is. I think the 2022 got 98 points. So just to let you know, this is no, you know, under the radar wine. This wine will and is going to elevate, and it's all because of the passion of Annabelle Cruse. And so I don't know what else really to say, but yeah, spectacular wine for the money. Seriously, you cannot go wrong. Happy Thanksgiving. I know that I'm not going to probably do another video till after Thanksgiving, so this will be really good with some turkey or whatever, roast beef or whatever else you're cooking, and we'll see you in December.